Have you ever wondered what a snowman would look like as a tree, as fire, as trash? No, just me? Either way, we are going to be drawing prompts out of this little stocking and creating snowmen based off of something other than snow. So I guess they're not snowmen, but whatever, let's just get into it. But before we get into drawing our weird snowman, I do want to start off by creating a standard snowman. So we do have a little bit of a starting point, I suppose. So real quick, let's draw a regular snowman and then we can get into the weird stuff. When I started our quote-unquote regular snowman, I was hoping to have just a regular snowman, something to base our weird designs off of, a standard, if you will. But as I drew a few sketches, I just found a regular snowman to be really boring, and if I was going to draw something, it had to be really fun and interesting and quirky, and I thought branches looked really similar to antlers, so I thought, okay, let's give this snowman some antlers, which was harmless enough. We have a snowman with antlers, but then I thought, why have him just have a ball for a body when you can give him these weird 4 legs that are made out of more branches and give him a poofy little tail, so maybe he's like a deer snowman. I mean, can you imagine propping up a giant snowman body onto 4 branches and praying that they stand up? I think it would be really interesting to do in real life, but I bet it would be really hard to balance. Either way, this is our quote-unquote normal snowman that ended up being a weird reindeer snowman, but I think he turned out really cute. So here is our final normal snowman. You guys will have to forgive me having to be all artistic and not do a regular snowman, but I think our reindeer snowman is really cute. So let's get on to the weird stuff. Like I mentioned, we have our little stocking full of prompts, so let's see what our first one is going to be. All right, and we'll just unwrap it here. Ooh, our first snowman is going to be a fireman. Oh, fireman's a word. Well, we're gonna create a snowman-inspired fireman, like made out of fire. You get the picture. So going into our fireman illustration or design, I guess there was a few ways I could approach this. I think looking back on it, I should have done this weird warped wood ball. That would have been really interesting for his body. And then from the ball of wood, we could have had the fire coming around it and creating this head. But what I ended up going with was just like a small campfire where the flame was coming up and forming a very large body of fire to be obviously the body of the fireman, and then another poof of flame above that to be his head, and that would make our fireman. This one was really interesting to create. I had so much fun stylizing the fire. Fire's never been something that I've been really good at drawing. I've struggled with it my whole life, but I think stylizing it with simple shapes and circles and making it look really fun and colorful turned out really successful with the Posca Pens, and I think I found something that worked, and I absolutely love the result. Of course, our fireman still has the little twig arms, and I gave him a twig nose because it was just so perfect to have these burnt wood appendages, because a campfire is wood, so I have these sticks coming out of the wood to be the arms. Ignore the fact that the nose twig is floating, and there you go. We have this really interesting and fun fireman design, and I think he turned out so colorful. And when it came to the circle behind our character, I knew I wanted to do something dark, but I wanted to keep to that warm tone, so I went with a very dark maroon, and that was that. He's my favorite of all of these designs. So here is our fireman. I actually think this might be my favorite one so far, and by favorite one, I mean compared to our snowman. Anyways, let's get another one going. That was super fun and interesting, so I'm really excited to see who's going to be next. Let's grab another out of our stocking, and we have... And it is going to be Tree. We're going to design a tree man, a tree snowman. All right, here we go. Because our first weird snowman design was fire, and with fire you can't exactly give a flame a scarf and a hat, I kind of forgot about that handmade or man-made element that goes into a snowman. So when I went into this woodman or tree man or whatever, I really focused on it being natural or completely nature made, which is fine. He turned out super adorable. I think he's my second favorite, but I think when it comes to snowmen, you do want that handmade and put together feeling. So for our tree man, I have this stump that was cut, or I guess a tree that was cut to reveal a stump. And from that stump, a new tree started to grow, but it grew in a way that looks like a face. What a coincidence. So I guess it's nature made. Maybe Mother Nature made this wood man. I keep calling it a wood man, even though I said it was tree. I think the part I was most excited about our tree man was giving it a mushroom hat. I didn't completely forget about giving him accessories. I just gave him accessories that were more natural. So we have a really huge mushroom hat, which is super colorful and adorable, and I love it. And I also gave him little mushrooms along his body to represent buttons, like the coal buttons you put on a snowman. And once I put that bright green circle behind him, everything came together. He was just so bright and colorful and naturey. He's adorable. His little arms are cute. He's so stumpy. Oh, stumpy, get it? Because he's like short and whatever, you get it. And here he is, our little tree man. I think he's pretty cute, though I think maybe he lacks that handmade or man-made element that a snowman has, but he turned out pretty cute either way. All right, let's get into choosing our next snowman. We have a Sandman next. Exciting and really cute, like a sandcastle. I was actually surprised when I drew out the sand prompt because I actually only was able to do half of the prompts in our stocking. I had so many ideas, but this idea was actually what inspired this whole video. This was actually not entirely my idea. Another art YouTuber called Scribblefix made a ornament video inspired by my videos, and she made a sand snowman ornament. So I'm taking inspiration from her taking inspiration from me, so it's like this huge inspiration circle. It's kind of hilarious. So when I saw her adorable sand snowman ornament, I was inspired to do other either elemental or object inspired snowmen. And that's when I came up with the idea for this video, because I just wanted to draw so many snowmen in different ways, like especially fire. I was so excited to do fire and I was so happy I drew that one. So this one was definitely inspired by Scribblefix, so thank you Scribblefix for this amazing idea. I took some inspiration from her ornament, but I really wanted to put seaweed under the hat of our snowman, or I guess Sandman, because seaweed is the perfect thing on the beach to make hair. And obviously we have a towel around his shoulders instead of a scarf, and the bucket for a hat. Such perfect beach themed items, which translate so well from snow to sand, as well as a starfish for a nose for some reason, and a variety of shells for the buttons. So this guy turned out really pastel, really colorful, and really interesting. So go watch Scribblefix's Australia themed ornaments. They're super cute. Finished and done is our sandy beach snowman or Sandman. This makes me want to try to make a Sandman the next time I go to a beach. It's kind of cute. But we have to move on to our next prompted snowman. Let's see what we get. Ooh, we have a sweets man, so maybe a snowman designed from candies, chocolates, anything sugary basically. Let's design them. Going into this sweets inspired snowman, it was super obvious what I was going to do. Scoops of ice cream, they're round, you stack them. I'm sure there are plenty of ice cream shops out there that do some sort of ice cream snowman inspiration for the holidays. I didn't Google it, but hold on. snowman, ice cream. What do you know? Hey, wait, that's exactly like mine. Okay, so I didn't Google this beforehand, but other people also put chocolate sauce on his head, topped with a cherry, just like me. So I didn't want to just make a chocolate shaped hat. I thought that would be kind of boring. I did want to take inspiration from an ice cream cone, so I just topped his head with some liquid chocolate and put a cherry up there. His nose is a candy corn. I thought that would be the perfect sort of carrot shaped, and by sort of, I mean it's absolutely perfect. Even the color is perfect. And to make it more colorful, I did make his body a different color, so I made it into strawberry ice cream and I drenched it in strawberry sauce, hoping that that sauce would look sort of like a scarf, but really it just looks like there's a bunch of sauce on him. And his arms are made out of pretzel sticks. So there you go, we have our sweets snowman. Very, very colorful, maybe a little too much for me. I was hoping to narrow down his color scheme, but it kind of got out of hand. Maybe that's perfect for the theme. I don't know. You tell me. Do you like colorful? Do you like bright? Do you like sweet? Well, good news, because there is our sweets snowman all completed. And what do you guys say we do one more snowman? So let's grab one more. And we have water. So you're probably thinking, Kasey, snowmen are technically made out of water. Well, I mean like underwater, like going into this underwater snowman, I was actually hoping to make the coral into arms, but then I thought, well, the body of our snowman was going to be air bubbles coming up from the ocean, and you would probably see the coral coming up, and it would look kind of weird, and I wasn't sure how I felt about that. And to be honest, after I drew my bubbles, they just looked so amazing. I was so impressed with myself with these Posca pens. I only had 3 different shades of blue to work with, and they turned out to make the most amazing bubble layering colors, and it just looked so cool. And I guess I was just too afraid to mess that up. So after I created our amazing bubbles, I decided to make this really interesting and weird abstract sort of underwater snowman by creating the buttons, the eyes, the nose, and the arms by putting fish in front of these bubbles. So I used these shadowy figures of fish. The long eel is the nose, we have long eel as the arms, and 3 fish to create the buttons, and 2 fish on the face to make the eyes. It's a very abstract idea to make this into a snowman, but I thought it was really fun and interesting and different. And that's what we're here for. We're here to use our imagination. So there you go. There is our water, or I guess at this point it's more of a air and fish man. Our 5th and final variation of a snowman is complete. This one is a little bit more abstract, a little bit more silly, but it was still a lot of fun to make. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed my different, I don't even know what to call them. They're obviously not snowmen. They're not elemental per se, but I hope you enjoyed these variations of a snowman. These were a lot of fun to create, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay golden. And before I go, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my patrons. You guys are seriously amazing, and I cannot thank you enough for all of your support. Do you want secret sketches, early access to my videos, shout out my video? Check out my Patreon link in the description. Thank you guys so much. Bye.